men have more androgen receptors in the shoulders, right? So obviously you're gonna grow bigger shoulders than women. It's a pleasure speaking to you as always, Jay. JTH Simpson, we've got in the house, and we've got some questions today from the gram. Would you like to start off with those?
Might as well.
You don't sound very excited about that. I feel like that
Let's
fucking
get
like
reading.
I feel like the fucking Bobby Althoff girl that does say the interviews. You know, the girl that we were watching the Little Yachty interview.
Oh yeah. You don't
she,
sound very happy.
she was like, "You don't sound
What do
very
you
happy."
mean? I'm so happy. You know how much this crown is?
You know I have these crayons. You can't afford these crayons. You can't afford these joints. I can't. Oh man, if you're ever sad, like watch Little Yachty. He's just fucking amazing. Watch any Little Yachty content like out there, man.
Now I don't know much about this, but why is it the glass one on the top? Shouldn't it be on the bottom? Oh shit, it doesn't break.
Can you explain what that's about to just
So
people
it's a
like the glass thing?
TikTok that he's recording of a vending machine, and on the top is like a Starbucks with a glass bottle, and obviously glass breaks when you break it from a height. And the vending machine, rather than putting it on the bottom, put it on the top. I probably already said that. I'm kind of just too hungry to think right now. And yeah, he just makes comments on it, and it's very funny.
Right, we've got this question: how to get anchor arms? Asking Professor Jack. That's you.
Suddenly, I have a PhD in arms.
Yeah, walk us through
Um,
your arm day, I
you
suppose.
pick up the heavy circles, and you put that TikTok up of my arm day.
I put up like maybe I put up like it was us benching and then like a triceps exercise of just
Yeah, I
flexing.
was doing that
There
one.
was yeah. So like what about like the arm day? Do you want to release the secret sauce or you just maybe just speak about some like exercises you like if you don't want to release the full
I
secret
mean,
sauce? Because how
preacher curls an incline dumbbell for biceps, triceps. Push down with a straight bar. I'm not a huge fan of the rope. You can't really load it up as much. And while I'm not saying it's a bad exercise, I'm not a fucking PT. I just do what feels good. And to me, the straight bar, you can load up more, activate more, you feel it more. If you do, if you think a rope is better for you, use a rope. But what's another one? Overheads, the one in that TikTok. With either getting a super heavy one and then doing it like that, or just single-handedly like that with a slightly lighter weight. That shit feels good. You really got to get the stretch though. You got to go right down, and you'll feel it really tight back here. Oh fuck. Um, that. So what we've got: preacher incline dumbbell curls, barbell curls as well. Those three are probably my staple: preacher, dumbbell, and barbell. I'd say I always do them every single workout. Um, same with the straight bar for triceps, overhead tricep press, and some form of isolation, whether it be kickbacks, single arm extensions. Yeah, that's probably about it.
volume?
Volume? No, intensity. Volume doesn't really matter. You gotta just pick up a moderately heavy weight for you, and you want to do that until you just can't feel your arms anymore. You kind of don't want to be a bitch with this one, basically,
So
because
this
there's so many
is
people
no
they
science
kind of
based
go,
lifters.
yeah, you don't want to maximum repetitions until failure, and then you have 4 repetitions left in your tank. No, just
Such a
you
good
want
Jeff
to you
Nippard
want
impression.
to you want to just kind of push it really hard until you literally can't lift it anymore, and then even then when you do what you think is your final one, try do one more. If you've done it, then once again try one more. And then when you get to that point where you can't really lift it, what I like to do is try and get as much tension as possible by leaning a bit back, and you kind of want to swing the weights up, lean back, and fight the downward force. I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I mean. You're kind of wanting to hold it in place, but your arm will naturally fall down for like incline and barbell curls. For
Like,
preacher, you kind of just want to focus on a stretch.
so my forearms are getting sore just thinking about what you're speaking about right now.
Yeah, it's quite rough.
I'm not a fan of the preacher curl because it puts you in quite a. If you're loading up heavy, it's quite a dangerous position you can't really get out of. If you're loading up really heavy and then on the end, sort of part of the stretch when you're at the last 10%,
That's why it's kind of better to use the machine.
It's pretty.
The machine's a little bit better.
It's pretty scary. Oh, I suppose, but if you can't stretch all the way, let's say you're about to hurt your biceps or hurt your wrist or something along the way, or your elbow or whatever, and you can feel that you can't go any further. If you don't have the strength to physically hold it there, you have to. The only way to bail is to stand up. And I don't know. It's scary. Loading up heavy on the exercise is scary.
But that's where success is, where the most fear is. You can't get success without going into a realm of scariness.
So that's why you like decline bench loaded up to almost your max, like 3 reps of decline bench with no spotter.
I don't know, but I do love incline. Incline's fun. I'm still really weak on it though. I really need to work on it.
Decline of no spotter on the squat rack. That's where it's at, bro.
That's the definition of scary.
That's good. Because there's no escape. You can't. What you're gonna do, like an ab curl, like Spider-Man. You're gonna go up with the whole bar.
Yeah.
Like 80 kilos on the bar, 90, whatever. Oh man, I just doxed that we're not like that strong. I was like, oh yeah, 80 kilos on the bar, bro. You're like, what do you mean? I decline bench 140, you skinny bitch.
Yeah, I saw someone at my gym, like he was declining like 120 or something like that, and I was like, well, I should just leave. I should just quit. That's it. Estimated arrival about 6 minutes. Finally.
Tremendous.
And they are fucking miles away.
Are you gonna knock them out?
I'm kind of getting a bit distracted because there is just food.
The question is, are you gonna knock them out when they come to you?
No, that's barbaric.
Is it?
I'm going to get my metal baseball bat and hit them over the head with it. You know, be intelligent with it. Use tools.
Demonetized. Demonetized. Again. Alright. Well, so that question is answered, I suppose. That's your arm day. We also have this question. This is probably leading on from the podcast previous. We have hopping on or not. I suppose that means about us. Natty for life, lifetime natural.
Lifetime natty. I don't know. Maybe when I'm like 35, TRT, and that's probably as far as I'll go.
I don't know. It's an interesting question. If you want to be relevant in the fitness space, it's a really not easy, but it's sort of like the thing to do. You know, you just do a few blasts, get huge, do a nice cut, a nice little enhanced cut, and then you just look amazing for photos, and suddenly you can get quite big on social media. I'm not saying it's hard. I'm not saying it's impossible to get big on social media if you're natty, but it just takes so many more years. So
Yeah,
maybe
pretty
that's
much.
something better to speak about on that question rather than, are you fucking blasting, bro? That's like the question of the...
So when are you pinning?
Yeah, so when I want a live pin video right now. I want you to walk me through. This is something that I'd actually like to discuss. So I was gonna say walk through. What do you think? What do you think is a better approach to speak about like PED use, like an education stand, or we ignore it, we brush it under the carpet, and we just say everybody is lifetime natural and the rock is natural, and you know, and that sort of approach? Or do we go under the approach of we educate people, and if you want to do it, you do it, but you do it safely, and you know people's past experience at least?
I don't know. I guess we can just talk about choice, I guess.
Yeah, but
Because
but do you think it's better to, because there's like two distinctive groups of people. There's the people that will hide their gear usage and they'll just pretend that they're like The Rock And obviously that's like where the lifetime natty meme comes in. They're like, oh, lifetime natty. And there's the people that are completely open and use their platform to educate. Like, for example, Derek, More Plates, More Dates. He is literally like, oh, what it feels like to be on Debo. Well, I was getting fucking nosebleeds, bro. You know, and
I'm a
that.
walking nosebleed with ED.
With ED, yeah.
But no, I think people should be honest with it because what a lot of people probably don't realize is with anabolic steroids, you don't just take it and boom. Like obviously you're gonna get a lot of progress, more than the average person.
There's some that do exactly that.
Yeah, but not all of them, and not the
Yeah.
stereotypical ones.
Yeah.
But you've got you probably put on a little bit of muscle, but you don't just sit there and then suddenly boom, six pack, fucking trapezoids and boulder shoulders.
Traps, yeah,
you have to put in the work. So like a lot of people don't realize that you have to put in a huge amount of work regardless. So gear usage shouldn't be seen as this thing as like a cheat or a shortcut. It should be used as like no, maybe a shortcut, but it shouldn't be seen as like cheating. Because at the end of the day, it's just getting from point A to point B faster.
So you think it shouldn't have a negative connotation?
To an extent. It depends if you're making money off of it and lying about it. If you're making money off of it, you should at least let the people know.
Well, yeah, but
also, we might need to take an intermission soon because my food is just about here.
No, we can have a Jay eating podcast. You can just like eat.
Yeah, but I've got to go and get it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll just edit that bit out. But it's like, so you're saying that it shouldn't be seen as bad, but like, because like Mr. Olympia, obviously nobody's natural. Like, if you think they are, then you're living in a fairy tale. And like most of these competitions that are even considered, oh, I'm a lifetime natural bodybuilder. Yeah, some of you are, but like for every test that they make, there's a way to get around the testing. I'm not saying every test isn't. I'm not saying there aren't bulletproof testing protocols out there, but you'll find that a lot of these bodies don't have very, I suppose, thorough testing for gear. So that, yeah, they can pop you for certain things, but if you're very smart about your cycle design and you've got somebody that knows exactly what they're doing, that have coached many athletes before you and got their levels in check within time to these like testing windows, then obviously you can cheat them. Like, for example, how many people there was like scandals in the Olympics about cyclists and stuff. How many people got caught? Well, they call it doping.
The Tour de France.
Yeah,
wasn't Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, like how many
people
get,
long time ago.
But how many people get caught like that after years of doing it? After years. Well, I'll just keep that. I'll keep that thought, Jay.
Oh shit! Sorry, wait. I gotta have a little fucking rant here because does that look like a regular sized cup to you?
It's quite small. Is that a drink?
That is my drink. That is a regular Coke. Look at the size of that.
It's so small. I thought
this
it was
is next to a Guinness pint.
I thought it was like popcorn chicken or something.
No, this is the drink. I thought because I got the side and the side is sesame chicken because I wanted more chicken, but look at the fucking size of it.
Chimkin.
That's not even a fucking pint. I need to get a fork now because this shit's greasy.
Jay exits his room. Bro, Jay,
you can still hear me though.
It looks like there's just a like darkness, like a dark hole when you leave your room. Like just that there's just nothing. No, that sounds like it too. You just entered. Oh, there we are. Here we go. He's back. So this is what a 5'2" person looks like, by the way, walking around. Just
5'1.5".
5'2.5".
Rounded up to 2.
Yeah, so now it's Mealtime with Jay. This is our new segment, Mealtime with Jay. Yeah, so what were we talking about before you went to go fight your career delivery driver? Yeah, I was gonna say how many people in, for example, cycling got caught after like undoubtedly months, years of doing stuff, and then you're here thinking, just because a bodybuilding show has natural in the name, that means everybody there is completely natural. They're not doing anything. They're not taking anything. It's kind of bizarre to have that point of view on it. And you said, oh, it shouldn't be judged on that if you're doing it. I don't know. I think you should be free to judge who you want, but should it be like frowned upon? I think it's just the case of like, as long as it's not promoted to like kids and people that shouldn't be even thinking about these sort of things, it would be good. But you've got all this like social media pressure now. That's the problem. Like you go on TikTok as a 16-year-old guy or whatever, and you've got guys that are just blasting, and you think this is what you're meant to look like after you train
Oh,
for
they
a
did
year.
give me a straw. Yeah, no, like it's just tough, I guess, to really kind of answer that question fully. There's going to be a lot of rustling. I'm sorry. Hopefully the voice recording kind of picks it out. But
It's not terrible. It's not
basically,
that bad.
but yeah, like there's a lot of influence as well. Like creators kind of because that's the problem with now a lot of people knowing. A lot of people now knowing you've got like the ups and downs because now you know the truth that they're blasting, but then they have the downsides is a lot of kids are now seeing that and they're going shit.
Shit,
10 week,
that's what I
30
need to
week,
do.
30, yeah, 30 week time to do the 30-week trend challenge.
Oh my god, that I can't believe that was a thing. That's insane. Trend for 6 weeks is bad enough. For fucking hell.
It was like a 30-day challenge or something, maybe not like 30
30
weeks, but
days,
still.
30 weeks. Yeah, so the
But it was like
majority
just
of my
10,
year
30
is
days in a row.
the majority of my year is spent taking trenbolone.
Spending 6 months on trend.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Shit, man. I'm gonna try and somehow tilt this down. I want you to kind of see
Are you
what I'm
showing
looking at
off
right now.
the hunt?
Oh yeah, look at that.
So this is ancestrally consistent, that food.
Yeah, it's chicken, and as you all know, caveman long ago
Chips.
made chips with a deep fryer.
They just got some oil and they fucking lit that bad boy up.
No. They use animal fat. We don't use oil around here.
Oh yeah, no seed oils are being consumed right now. Literally last podcast speaking about how seed oils are like evil. Meanwhile, Jay, podcast free. This isn't seed oils, bro. What are you talking about? Oh, did you make sure to ask them what it's cooked in?
Put in there was the special request. Do not cook in seed oil.
I can see your estrogen rising right now, like on your blood work. I can see your E2 skyrocketing right now. Prolactin off the scale. Testosterone, hypogonadal.
Yeah, but that's why I counteract it with chicken, which boosts my testosterone, balances out.
This is the problem with today's world. Like now, some kid's gonna hear this and he's gonna go and eat like a kilogram of chicken until he's sick because he'll think that it boosts testosterone.
So, was it influential
Um,
to the 10 viewers that we have?
no, we have more. We have last podcast we had 48 unique viewers. Actually, I'm gonna dox us right here about if someone watches this and they end up actually blowing up like all of them. So like JRE's, like Joe Rogan's podcast, it got like how are you fitting that much in your mouth at the same time, bro? Joe Rogan's podcast, like the first one's got like nothing. Is they recorded what, like 2009? He got absolutely like 0 views. And then
Yeah, but it was also kind of a new thing. That's why he blew up so fast.
they've all got a lot of views now.
Yeah, no, he was ahead of his time. Because he was the one that does the high intensity training. Because what Mike Mentzer did, Dorian Yates kind of picked up. It's kind of like I'm trying to think of a good example of this.
Well, yeah, Dorian
Where-
Yates did
Dorian
like
Waits.
really heavy training, like till like he was like if
Ash,
you don't
blood and guts.
He was like if you don't throw what's his accent like again? It's very English. I've literally met
German,
him.
isn't it?
Dorian Yates is English, bro. It's like as English as you get. Oh, Dorian Yates is German, isn't he, bro?
He sounds like a German name though, Dorian.
No, but Dorian Yates is English, right? And he's literally if you don't literally get sick, yeah, when you train, it's not good enough. You're not training hard enough, yeah. So yeah, you're right in that. Yeah, okay. What's like your opinion then? Because when you were speaking about training arms before, you were saying, oh well, go until complete failure, no science-based lifting. What's your opinion on like the old school training? What's your opinion on like Arnold's training, which is really like high volume, which nobody
interesting
could
that you bring up.
survive.
Well, Arnold's training was insane to say the least, and it's almost impossible to do without gear, because like think about it as well. Like if you wanted to get big and all you had to do was spend as much time in the gym as possible throwing these weights around, people would be, quitting their jobs and
Hmm.
doing anything they can to spend all day in a gym. And realistically, you just don't have to. You can spend a good 45 minutes in the gym with really high intensity, like going to the point of failure and maybe even just a little bit beyond if you're serious about it. The average person, sorry, doesn't really have to do that. They kind of just have to, go to near failure.
A big part of blasting as well that people don't really consider, they just think it's a magic drugs that make you bigger, is the recovery is enhanced insanely. Like when you're taking anabolics, well, depends what obviously, but the recovery compared to a normal person, you're pretty much a superhero. Like you
Yeah,
can,
recovery periods are almost non-existent on anabolics.
like this is what I, well, it is, but like compared to a normal person, yeah, it's like
Yeah, that's why I said it's
you can,
almost
yeah,
non-existent
yeah.
comparatively.
So this is why I find it quite strange that people slag off the bro split when you're natty. People always say, "Oh, do push pull legs." Push pull legs
Hmm.
is pretty intense. When you're only taking 1 day break, for example, when you're doing push pull legs break, push pull legs break, that's quite intense. I don't know why people slag you off when you want to do like the bro split when you're natural, because yeah, you may only be training a muscle group a week, but if you're hitting good intensity, what's like I don't know how some people can hit full intensity almost 3 times a week of chest. Like, can you really?
That's like because that's why. Well,
If you have
the
a
problem
push
is
pull
when
legs,
most
but
people
it's
suggest a push pull
two.
legs, it's usually a beginner who doesn't really know how to get to failure. When you kind of know when you know your way around the gym, ideally you should be making your own split.
Hmm,
But even if you don't really know how to structure it,
what works
you
for you,
still
I
kind of want
suppose.
something where, you know, push pull legs is not amazing, but it's still very good for the average person.
Yeah, I'd say it's good, but it's just like when you're training like full intensity. I as I said, when you're naughty, I just don't see you hitting like with 2 days break. Sorry, no, it's like three days break between.
One to
Let's say
two.
let's say on your pull sessions you're hitting deadlifts, and on your leg sessions you're hitting squats. I just don't see you hitting high numbers over and over repeatedly with that amount of rest
No,
only.
because
Unless you
deadlifts are
switch.
more a leg exercise,
Hmm.
and even then you can barely do them
So push
after
pull
like you're hitting
legs.
leg
So it's like
squats.
you're hitting deadlifts and then you're hitting squats straight after deadlifts the day after. I just don't see that happening. Unless it's programmed push pull legs, as in you've got like heavy and light days, or well, not necessarily heavy and light, but different exercises slightly for the. Let's say you've got 6 days in a week that you're training PPL, and then you've programmed in such a way that, for example, on one of the pull slash one of the leg days, you've got deadlifts. Maybe you've got deadlifts and
Yeah,
squats in the same day. Maybe.
you would have to. Well, it's kind of weird because you have like the one that I saw. Your Sunday's an optional leg day, but if you were to do it, you would want deadlifts. I think it's deadlifts on the Sunday and squats on the Wednesday, because that gives you the farthest amount of time between the two.
Between, yeah. Are you able to train on your split? Do you have what is your most important like break between 2 days? Would you consider on your split? Like, what's the most detrimental days to have close to each other as a natural lifter on a bulk who goes to college? Just to put it into
Annoyingly
perspective.
enough, and this is one that because my split is push pull legs Arnold, so I do push pull legs and then chest and back and then uh, arms. I usually do legs once a week because I try and hit them as hard as I can to the point where it's difficult to walk. I'll be walking around the library like waddling basically.
Hmm.
I just look like a fucking penguin because I'm 5'2", and if I'm wearing like black and white clothes,
So you could be mistaken very easily.
yeah. But like I'm waddling around. That's a good leg day. You can hit legs once a week. It's a lot of people think you need to hit it like 2 or 3 times. Legs takes quite a long time to recover
I
because of how
actually
inefficient they
I
are.
really want to get into something here. I want to get into girls training legs like 3 times a week. because I've actually been quite interested in this. So I've looked into like girls
I'm
programs.
interested in girls doing
No,
legs.
I'm not interested in girls at all. I'm not interested in women, as we've discussed in the previous part of the podcast. But I am interested why maybe I need to look into this. I've never looked into like biomechanics of the actual difference between. Obviously, I know, for example, men just have stronger backs, they have stronger chests, stronger shoulders. Men have more androgen receptors in the shoulders, right? So obviously, you're gonna grow bigger shoulders than women.
Is my hat squint?
Mine is squint because a fat guy sat on it. It's a funny story. I left it on my driver's seat, and a fat guy got on my driver's seat and sat on it and bent it sideways. So, but yeah, my question is like, why do girls, or sorry, as Americans say, why are chicks programming so much leg days into their lifts? Obviously, I know that girls want to get like ass and stuff. That's like a lot of girls want to go to the gym
Yeah,
to get
women that
ass.
I've spoken to don't really want to get a big upper body.
But it's not a problem. Like you can be attractive as a girl if you have an upper body, and because of the way that your body works, and because of the fact that you have a lot less testosterone, a lot less androgenic hormones in your body naturally as a woman than a man, you're not suddenly gonna get a V-taper back and bolder shoulders and huge traps as a girl anyway if you train upper body. Like girls struggle to get big chests, not sorry, I mean the actual muscles, because of just the way that genetics are, right? And also, do you think that the whole thing of being scared of getting too big is a legitimate concern for girls to have? Even some men are like, oh, I don't want to get big, I want to get toned. I don't think there's such thing as toned. In bodybuilding, you can gain size, you can lose fat, right? You can gain muscle, lose fat. That's how it works. There's no spot fat reduction that's impossible unless you get liposuction or like there's
Target fat burn.
like there's like injectables that you can literally take that burn fat, but you end up looking lumpy, and they're very experimental. I'm not going to mention what it is because I don't want anybody to go injecting weird
There was a
things
very
thinking
nice
it burns fat.
there was a very nice visual representation I saw of this from a PT, and they visualized it by basically having a container full of water, and they're like, okay, well, let's say I just want to, I don't want to take any, I want to take belly fat from my belly, but I don't want anything, I don't want to lose any fat in my arms, so I'm just going to quickly scoop this tiny part of the water out. But when you scoop a bit of water out, it doesn't just make a perfect hole like if you were to dig into a
In the
cave.
water,
The
yeah.
water rushes in, yeah. The water rushes in. So that's kind of what it's like with fat. It's going to move around. It's going to, well, not move around. It's not a liquid, but it's, yeah. You can't just scoop out the fat naturally. You've got to slowly reduce the levels.
Your body holds on to it because it's had too much energy put in, so you can't expend it. So it's your body's way of storing that energy for later use. And your body doesn't give a fuck if it's on your ass, on your neck, wherever. Just whatever your genetics have deemed is where you store your fat is where you're gonna store it. And there's no way they're like, if you look at these workouts, they're like, oh, you're gonna lose so much belly fat. Shut the fuck up. You're not. You're gonna lose it everywhere or nowhere. So yeah, but like
a fat burning stage of your body, which is stage 2 and 3 of heart rate.
Oh, you mean cardio?
Yeah.
Yeah, stage 2 cardio.
Yeah, like low intensity cardio, like running while holding a conversation levels.
Do you know, I've started doing cardio recently, and I still want to hear your question.
Knocked on my door.
I still want to hear your answer on the question that I asked before, but I quite like where this is going. So, I've started doing cardio recently. How long have you skipped cardio? This is a question. Ever since you've trained, how long did you skip cardio? Because I have literally only started doing cardio seriously
doing
right
cardio.
now. Yeah, that was like an excuse that I used as well, but it doesn't count.
I know. I haven't done a lot of cardio. When I come back eventually, in my garage, there's like not a Peloton, but an off-brand Peloton.
The thing.
My plan is to do that. Yeah, just a cycle machine. I've also got a bike down here. I want to try and get a frame, like an indoor frame, so I can attach my bike to it.
Like Coach Greg has.
Yeah, does he?
Cycle harder than last
£10
time.
one. But basically, just have something that I can bring the bike indoors and just put it in like the living room or something.
Yeah.
Just cycle for like the next 20 minutes or something. like 20,
The
30 minutes a day.
the one thing that I've realized, which is really painful, I made a mistake, right? I made a mistake. I did cardio on the bicycle, and quickly moved up to, the Stairmaster.
Hmm.
The Stairmaster is awesome, bro. I was just trying to hold at like between like 130, 140 BPM. I don't know how accurate that is on the actual machines that measure, because I don't have an Apple Watch or anything, so I just used whatever the
Get like
machine told me.
I'll get mine. I've got a
Bro,
Garmin
you're gonna bring your
3.
like fucking 700 pound smartwatch in here. The podcast isn't making that revenue yet, okay?
No, this isn't 700. This is like barely even 100 quid.
No, no, fair
These
enough.
are cheap. I got this for Christmas. This is a Garmin. I got it's a Vivo Active 3.
Vivo.
Other brands are available, but basically it can track. I figured out how to do the golfing thing, by the way. I
Oh, let's
remember
go
when we were like
golfing.
spending 20 minutes.
They had
Uh,
golfing like maps on it, yeah.
yeah, I figured out how to get the golf course on. Um,
Very cool.
I will quickly. We don't have a pull that shit up, Jamie, so I will quickly Google up.
I'll quickly pull that shit up myself. Oh man.
Okay, maybe they are. Oh, on Amazon right now, it is going for no price. Why is there no price? To be fair, it
We
is an older watch.
If we speak about anything that is actually worth buying, we will have an affiliate link at some point, but we don't yet have enough subs to be considered for that anymore. So once we do, don't worry
We're
guys,
too
we will
shit.
we will be we will be putting
What?
affiliate links in the description at some point.
Okay, I must have gotten a refurbished one or something because it says it's £220 on the site.
Yeah, bro, I told you these aren't cheap. Like the top level Garmin is like a grand or something. That's like the Arctic Expedition one. Oh,
Yeah, those ones are insane though.
right, I have another topic to speak about. All right.
On Halfords, it's £120.
Do you know what we were running out of topics to speak about before? But the thing is, I think we've just got shit questions this time because now we're speaking about off the cuff. It's going pretty well. So fuck answering questions if they're shit. Okay, okay. If you're gonna give a question to the podcast and it's shit, no offense, but we're not gonna answer it because it just wastes time, as we've realized in the beginning of this one. Okay, so if you're gonna
Let
ask
me lose track.
if you're gonna ask how to get girlfriend again, I'm gonna send Jay to your house directly to deliver an ass pounding. He's gonna deliver a beating like there's no tomorrow. He's gonna dress up in a Spider-Man suit and beat you up, man. That's just
Beat your ass.
and hand
Without
your
a B.
ass. And yeah, but fuck. Oh man. I should put this on the beginning, before the medical disclaimer, like how there's like a clip of the podcast. I'm gonna put that as the first. Jay's gonna dress up as Spider-Man and eat your ass.
Eat your ass.
Yeah, but we're speaking about like three. So yeah, 3 times leg day a week. I don't know how you can recover from that unless it's like different parts, like you're doing like your glutes on one day, quads on one day, and
Realistically,
hamstrings
that's
on
the
one
only
day,
way you
for
can do it.
example. But
Does it sound like I have a lisp?
no,
I've
not
been really
really.
self-con. I've been like throughout the whole thing. I've been like talking, and I was like,
Do I have a
you know when you
list?
think of something, you know when like you know
When you
when you
think of
think
something you
like
can't, yeah, like when I think
yeah,
that
like
I'm
when
a
you think of like
Norwood,
manually blinking or
yeah,
breathing
when
or
I
something
think that
like
I'm
that.
Norwood 5 on the hair scale, and that I keep thinking I'm bald, yeah, or how you think that you're
Because
5'2", yeah.
yeah, exactly. About 10 minutes ago, I just thought I had a lisp, and now I keep thinking that I'm. Sup, guys? How's it going? I'm speaking like this. Feels
No,
like I'm speaking like this.
nah, you don't, bro. I don't think
Maybe
you
I've just
ever
got a really
had that
salivary
problem.
mouth because I'm eating.
Yeah, but like I was gonna say, so about cardio, I made the mistake of doing a bicycle cardio on like not the same day, but the day straight after doing a heavy leg day, like a heavy
Oh, that's
leg
a.
day. Like I did. Let me explain. Let me explain. So I again train legs. Let me count. Let me see how I train actually. It's like 1 point. It's not. It's slightly more than once a week. It's I do. Yeah, I do almost twice a week because I do 4 days on, 1 day off. So I do 4 days on, 1 day off, 4 days on. So within 8 days, I train twice. So, but I'll have a break after that. So it's like 1.7 times works out, something like this, maybe.
Getting into the
How's the
decibels.
maths? Well, that's like my rough guess. Guys, I'm a fucking engineer, so I
I
will.
maximize my split by using decimal fractions,
Okay, but yeah, so I'm training like that. So
eigenvalues, and vectors of this.
because I don't train as often or like 2 or 3 times or stupid stuff like that, I try to make it decently heavy. So like what I did for that specific one, because I remember it still, because I still have like, I don't have like, well, I think I still have a leg pump to be honest with you. Like walking upstairs and stuff is still, you can feel the activation. The leg day that I did was just squats, but on a plate. So like 3 by 8. If you count warm up sets, then 5 by 8. Um, and then moving on to Swifty. Why you smile? What get you smiling like that, bro?
I was just looking at the questions.
Yeah.
I'd seen the
Yeah.
thing.
You seen. Yeah. So we do that. We go from that. Then we move from that. We move on to a seated hamstring curl. So not the one where you're laying down, but sitting down and doing like if this is you, you're doing this.
Yeah.
So that one's good. So again, like, but on that I do sets of 15. So like, if you include warm ups, 5 by 15, which people will be like, oh shit, that's too much volume, man. Shut up. Then after that, we'll go on to like hack squats, and then we'll be
So
doing like
yours is interesting. You've got quite a lot of compounds. So you've got squats and hack squats,
and
and you
hack
do leg
squats
press as well,
after.
don't you?
But depends. It's like this. If I don't hit the hamstrings, if I don't get onto the hamstring machine, I still want to obviously lift. So if I don't get into the hamstring machine, after the squats I'll do leg extensions if I can, and if I really can't, then I'll do calves in between to fill in the time. But then when I'm like rested again, I'll do like a leg press. So it all depends on like the availability. On my leg day, I just can't sit still. I really don't like it. If I've started, I need to finish the leg day. On like a chest day, if I don't have a chest exercise, fine, I'll hit like a triceps. That's fine, or like a different chest exercise. But on a leg day, I need to get these basic moves done because like the squat is it's like the be all and end all. It's what makes you big. It's
It's the
what makes you
fundamental
strong. It's
leg.
if you don't squat, then what are you doing? You can kind of replace it with leg press, but even then, not really. So like I'll do the hack squat, but I'll do like a weird stance. I'll do like this, like not a cannibal, but like the duck stance, I suppose. And then go like quite deep, but like only like reps of 8, only like sets like 3 by 8 on the hack squat. And on the hack squat, I don't really do a warm up. I just kind of because I've already warmed up from the squat, I suppose. Just put the weight on at 3 by 8. So I'm kind of ruined by that already. And after the hack squat, if I've done the hack squat, I don't do the leg extension. But if I don't do the hack squat, I do the leg extension. And I'll do
Oh, okay, that makes more sense
and
now.
then I'll do calves.
So
So
they're interchangeable.
so it's like this. The seated leg curl is interchangeable with a high position leg press. That's what I use for the hamstrings to grow
Yeah,
hamstrings, like high position leg
that's kind
press.
of the same for me.
But obviously, if I do leg press, it's a lot of a harder movement than fucking sitting and doing that. So it's weird. There's one leg day where I did everything. Where I did like. Why are your eyes so wide open, bro? There's one.
I'm just
There's one like leg day where sometimes I'll do the squat and the hack squat and the leg press, and then calves on the leg press.
that's crazy to me because that's so much volume and so much weight.
And do you know?
Because usually I'll
And do you
I'll
know?
do like hack
Strength
squat, leg
wise,
press,
the
and
difference isn't that big. Like between depending if I
yeah.
do the small one, it's crazy. I'm obviously weaker when I do all three, but that's really you can't walk.
Because
When you
usually
combine
it's like
those three,
I have
it's
all three and
no walking.
I
It's
pick one of the three.
yeah. But if you have all three, it's please give me a wheelchair. Please, I hope the lift works.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I don't know. I've always liked training legs with like high intensity because it's one of the only things I feel like comfortable taking to failure. Does that make sense? But I'm
I mean,
not.
legs is also kind of the scariest to go to failure because, but once you kind of get past that fear, like, 'cause I remember I did like, normally I do like 6 to 8 reps, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just keep going until I can't do it anymore, and I managed to get up to 10.
Yeah.
And it was like, which is, it's not that huge of a jump, but that's 2 more extra reps I didn't think I could do.
I think the leg press is the most scary because you are working with like pretty heavy weight. Like you're like it's not because it's at an angle, because of a 45-degree angle, you're not actually lifting everything. But because physically
it's not
when
300 kilos,
yeah, but because
like
when because when you're looking at the everything stacked up and then you're putting plates on the top one as well, it's just like, wow, I finally got somewhere. I'm moving some weight. It's like, this is scary. You can feel that it's heavy the moment that you unrack it. It's like pretty insane. You what do you think is more important? Going to full depth from like a leg press, or making sure you're keeping the tempo without resting?
Oh, definitely the depth.
Really?
Tempo
Tempo
is always going to change when you run out of
No,
breath.
but what I mean is, do you rest on like a leg press, like you'll push and then like almost like not fully extend your knees but then rest at the top, or do you prefer like sacrificing a bit of depth but keeping going, like not doing half reps but keep going? Like let's say you wanted to do 10 but you're feeling weak on the 6th, do you sacrifice a bit of depth and don't touch like fully towards your full range of motion and you keep trying to push it until you fail, or will you sit there at the top and wait and just start like like breathing like come on B?
No, I think you shouldn't sacrifice the depth, because at the end of the day, the stretch is the most important thing. The stretch, it like with a bicep curl, you want maximum amount of stretch because that's where the tension is and that's where the stress is created and where the tears are and the microfibers and blah blah blah. Useless science.
Blah blah blah. All the useless.
Yeah, useless fucking science. We're just here to lift.
Science-based lifters.
Yeah, you kind of. It's the same with the leg press. You want as much depth as possible, and obviously, realistically, most people aren't going to do that, including myself. I'm really guilty for it. I don't really like go all the way down, but also my belly kind of gets in the way. But yeah. I would say definitely don't sacrifice the depth. You can also do a little bit of, I don't know why, I'm kind of sketching and doing a bit of maths of like the leg press. So like you've got the 45-degree angle because it's on a 45-degree incline.
Don't stop trying to like calculate the force.
Yeah, so the tangential fucking.
Yeah, but it's but would you? But what I'm asking is, would you rather sacrifice the depth, or would you rather start good depth but just start resting halfway in between, basically like just take a really long time to do one rep, or do you keep a tempo?
I feel like if you're taking that as long as rests, where the point you're just sitting there for like maybe 2 or 3 seconds, you should just go until then. You should maybe do half reps, but if you're going to I'd say if you're going to fail, make sure that you have enough room to fail, if that makes sense. So you're not just getting like squished into the chair. You should probably have enough room so that you can get out of it. But even then, just doing a negative is far better than doing, just going like, just throwing it about.
I'd like to disagree with you, because I've found the most growth by, and this is not only on legs, I found, this is strength gains, by the way, this is not necessarily like size gain, but I found the most strength gain has come from keeping the time under tension like the most controlled as possible, if that makes sense. Like the most weight you can handle under a good time under tension, because when you're taking breaks between sets, whether it be a bench, and instead of holding it on your chest, you're holding it at the top position with your elbows fully locked. There's no tension there. There's a little bit, sure, but try to hold that weight in the middle. That's tension, right? Instead of holding it at top, you see a lot of guys benching that can. No, but what I'm saying is like you'll see a lot of guys benching who it doesn't really even look like they're benching, because the movement of the bench press to me is down, up, you go back down again, and up, and back down again, and if you have to rest on your chest, and back and up and down. You see a lot of guys that take it completely wrong, and they'll push, and then they rest at the top, and they bounce off their chest and they rest at the top, and they bounce off their chest and they rest at the top. That's not benching to me. That's not keeping time under tension. That's just being stupid and throwing around the weight that you can't handle by resting at the top, I think.
There's nothing like what you're saying is correct. You should obviously be resting at the bottom. Well, not resting at the bottom.
No, not what I'm
but
saying.
where
If you're
the
resting
bottom
anywhere,
is where the maximum time of the tension.
yeah. So what I'm saying is, I think it's a lot more beneficial to do even less reps, but on a continuous like push, let go down slowly, push, go down slowly, push,
Yeah.
go down slowly, rather than push, push, then rest, then just go down really fast and bounce off your chest and then rest again because you can barely handle the weight and you're just trying to impress people by the reps. You know,
Yeah, 'cause I've
like,
never,
the
'cause
time
that's
under
what
tension
happened
is
with
lower.
our PRs.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of our PRs, and you were guilty of this at one
Of
point.
course I'm guilty.
You were just like, just throw it down and then just let it bounce off your chest. And
Yeah,
I was
but that's
that
a
never
one,
really
yeah,
made
but
me
that's-
comfortable.
yeah, but that's a 1 rep max, bro. That's different. That's
For a
that's
1
you,
rep max,
That's you.
different, yeah.
That's you trying to move weight where form is compromised. It doesn't even matter. You're just trying to see the maximum thing you're gonna move. Obviously, ego comes into this and everything. So like
That's
obviously
true,
when
but I
when
was
you're doing
always
a one,
I was
right,
always the one that slowed it down and then pushed it up. I would
Yeah.
still move it slowly regardless,
yeah, but
because
when
to me that's where the movement is.
yeah, but are we doing competition
Whatever that
standard lifts? Like okay, up,
That's true. Yeah, we would be pausing.
re-rack, yeah, and everything, right? But like, look at your deadlift max versus your deadlift like 4.5 or 4.8, like the form difference.
Mm.
But like, look at Eddie Hall's 500 kilo deadlift. Is that perfect form? It's pretty scary, the form, but you got it, you know. But why did
Yeah.
you just stop? You were just like, I'm gonna defend this man of my fucking life. Yeah, but back to like the thing I'm talking about. Like, I've also noticed this for like hamstrings. It's helped me grow a lot. I've seen people use that machine that I'm talking about, the hamstring sitting down curl, in such a fashion where they'll do the they'll do the well, I suppose in that it's concentric section. Anyway, where you pull down with your hamstring, they'll do that portion of the movement, like the power portion, I suppose, if you could call it. And I know you've got eccentric, concentric, but because all your muscles pull, I'm not really sure which one you'd call that on that specific exercise.
Well, you can just say your high point and low point for now, I guess.
Right, I'll just say, I'm not trying to pretend I know what I'm talking about, I don't. So I'll just say when you're doing the movement, right, your beginning point is at the top where your legs are stretched, and then your end point of the movement is when your legs are, or your hamstring is shortened, right? So when you're going
Wait,
to
is this
that...
seated or is this lying?
Seated.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about lying.
No. So when your hamstring is shortened, right, that's the end. I'll see people that go to the shortened position, they get to the end, and then they extend their legs again. And instead of going again, they'll extend their legs to the point where where the plates hit each other again, and then they're just resting. And they go and do another rep. And they go extend, and you can hear the plate slamming, and then they'll go again. There's no
Whenever
tension.
I do that, I never try and make the plates touch.
Well, the thing is, I was
I
gonna
feel like
say
that's wrong.
the thing that I try to do, and I do, and when I'm touching the plates, I consider that a fail. I consider that technical fail, and I stop. Like, that's failure. You could reach technical failure. You could reach like physical failure, where you physically can't do it anymore. If that makes sense. So like on that one, I try to just, the most important thing to me is just to continue being under tension. So as long as I can keep going back up without touching the plates and with still holding tension, at the last reps, it doesn't really matter how deep I can get the movement. Even if I'm going only halfway, it still counts as, to me, time under tension, albeit not under the complete tension arc, if that makes sense. But it's still time under tension, and that's what has helped me. That's what has managed to make me get stronger on that specific movement a lot, like really fast. Get stronger is to think of it as you're trying to put as much stress as possible. The weight is just like a tool for putting tension on this muscle. And obviously you have like a set number of reps you want to do, but when you start doing like focusing more on that, you'll find that you can suddenly do less reps, because if you're slamming the weight and you're stopping and stuff, you can obviously pump out more, but the quality of them is really low. So what do you think?
No, yeah.
So are you like
No,
on my
that's-
team
I'm-
thinking that that's more
Yeah. No,
efficacious?
I think everyone should be. because that is literally what partials are. Like
Yeah.
you're going until, because that's what I do. I do full reps up until I can't go any further, and then you start doing them just until you can feel like you do it.
Yeah, but you don't
Because
rest.
even if you're not all the way down, yeah, the important thing is you don't just stop.
But you never stop and slam the weight. Well, that's what I meant on the leg press, is because I was like, oh, well, do you compromise depth and keep going, or do you dictate as many breaks? And you were like, yeah, oh, it's fine to stop at the top as long as you're doing the full motion. So the leg press is the same deal to me. I
No,
never
I said it
fully
wasn't
straight.
fine to. I said it wasn't fine to stop, but you have to try and get that depth, even if it falls into
Okay,
failure.
that's fine. Sorry, because I was like, which of the two is like a worse sin? I was like, which is worse to do? And you were like, oh, depth.
Taking
So
a
I
break
thought
is taking a break. You shouldn't really do. You can maybe take like a quick breather, but you shouldn't have to pause there for like 2 seconds, like like 5 seconds, 10 seconds,
Why so?
and then go for it
I
again.
mean, I guess it's fine if you know you can pump out a bunch more, but if you're taking the break between every single rep, it's either too heavy for you or you can't do the form properly. So it's too heavy. Basically, the answer is always it's too heavy. The weight is
Oh, I
always
see.
too
So if you're
heavy.
doing like say for example like 10 plates, you go down and then up, and then you take a little bit of a break, and then you
And
go
then
down
down
and
again,
up
and then
again.
up, and then you
Yeah,
take a break. Yeah.
yeah. That's when your weight's too heavy.
And that's what
You
I'm
don't
talking
wanna-
about when people bench as well. Like, for example, like a 10 kilo difference between what's loaded on the bar is the difference between whether you can rep, go back down, rep, go back down, rep, go back down, versus rep, you have to stop at the top, then you rep again, you have to stop at the top, to catch your breath. That's like a 10 kg difference, even 5 kg. And people will still put on the maximum weight possible. Which I actually find really annoying training with like some training partners. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Which is like I can comfortably rep out some amount with like decent to keep that kind of like rhythm going. But I can also rep more with shit form. And because I'm not a very strong bencher, people will be like, fucking load up the bench. And if you want to keep in that like circle of guys training, you have to do that weight. Even though they're maybe doing good form, but you're doing shit form. What do you think about training partners? Tell me.
They're necessary,
What's
but you gotta
better,
both have the similar views.
training alone, or training with partners? What gets you bigger, and what's better?
Training with a partner by far, because you have a failing point, and then you can, especially for like, because for the free weights especially is where they shine, because you've got, say for example on bench you could load up say for example 90, and I could do 90 for maybe about 6 before I have to kind of take those breaks. I have to slowly stop and go again. But then when I hit that point,
People are going to
there's
be
no safety
requesting
racks.
the video now.
But there's no brake pads on the benches that we use because they're shit. Like how like some like ones like
Oh,
have those bars that
that's
stick
cool,
out.
man. Yeah, I know which one you mean.
Yeah, but so because you don't have those, it's either you've got to push it far enough to get it to the first peg at least. So you can never bring bench to failure. But with a partner, you can bring it down, they can lift it up a little bit, and then you can do partials or you can just do negatives, and they will always, they'll be there to lift you up. But yeah, just stuff like that. For machines, say for example, if you're doing stuff like leg press, hamstring curls, like you said, it's kind of just fluff work because you're kind of just standing around waiting there. You're not really doing anything. But with stuff like free weights, so like shoulder press, whether it be dumbbell or normal, or yeah, like barbell bench, squats they can kind of help you with, but it's a bit risky. Just stuff where you can't really get the safeties. That's where they really shine because you can assist them, you can get them up, you can push them to failure and even beyond failure, because you are there to essentially ease. You are there to create the drop set essentially.
Yeah. But, bro, like, shoulder pressing without a spotter is pretty scary. Actually, benching without a spotter. Doing heavy weights on these movements where it's really hard to go back, it's pretty difficult without a spotter.
Mm. That's the one thing I've hated about training alone since I've been, away. Because I always have to kind of stop myself short. And I could ask people, like, oh, hey, man, you want to give me a spot? But I'm too awkward for that shit. And especially with the weights that I'm moving, it's not impressive to ask a spot.
Hey, listen, I need a spot, okay? So you better give it to me, okay?
Ignore the 60 kilogram plates. The 60 kilogram plates. Ignore the 10
60
kilogram plates
kilograms.
either side. Because I like to really drop the weight down when I can't do it. Because I like to go from like 90 down to like 2 5s on either side and do as many as I can.
It's let me think. I think of what to say intelligent about. Yeah, bro. So basically, it's better to do it with a spotter than without. Yeah, some exercises are better with a spotter. But see, when you've got like a partner as well, you can't really take too long breaks. Because if somebody's taking a 1.5 minute break and your set takes, I don't know, 45 seconds, you're kind of like switching between. Usually you end up doing set, no break, set, no break, set, no break. You just kind of switch
That's what I
between.
mean with like the fluff work. You're kind of just sitting there, or you're waiting time for pass, or you may be doing like less weight because you're not taking as long as a rest.
Yeah, I guess. But for heavy compound movements, definitely I think having a training partner is better than doing it alone. I would not be doing like sets of 3 on bench alone. I'm sorry. It's terrifying to me, the thought of like failing. Not that I haven't failed alone before, I have. It's quite a meme getting up to like your balls and then having to stand up again. I failed once in my attic with like the classic method of having the plates loose. And what I ended up doing is taking it off to the side, and the bar got stuck in the floor. They made a fucking hole in the floor, and then I couldn't get it off. Because it was one of those because it was one of those like shitty like thin bars, like those like home gym ones. That's not the same size as the gym one, so it was really thin. So it made a hole in the plywood, and I couldn't get it out. It's the ones that you have to like screw the stopper on to hold the bar. You know, like you got like the home gym easy bar. So it was like a straight bar. Man.
Like, yeah, just failing in general. Because I remember I mean, this is when I still did decline. I've kind of stopped doing decline. But like, I did a decline, and then I got to failure, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I did have to do what we were talking about earlier, where you just have to like ab roll.
Wait, decline?
Decline, yeah.
How did you do that?
Because they have a decline. Literally, I went
with
down,
like,
got up.
90 kilos or whatever. How did you manage to do
No,
that?
it was just 60. It was just
all
60
right,
at this
that's
time.
still. I don't know if I could do that, to be honest. With that weight going up.
But like, I got down, and I had to kind of do like a lat pullover. I had to like throw it onto my balls, basically, like you said, and just roll it off of me like that, and it was very annoying.
Bro, that's terrifying. I'm
But
gonna be honest.
it was really scary.
That's scary. Like getting that's something. But I just don't. I can't get. But why don't you use like safety bars? But then you can't get the depth.
There is no safety bars.
But even
It's
safety bars.
just literally a decline bench.
Oh right. Oh, you're using a decline bench, like actual bench. You're not doing on
Yeah, it was an actual bench, not like a squat machine
yeah,
rack thing.
a squat. Because in a squat, you can I suppose you can set the safety bar. I don't really do decline bench anymore whatsoever. I don't really do bench actually anymore.
Dips are better.
I don't do bench anymore. Bench hurts my shoulder. I don't do bench. I just sort that shit out with the shoulder, man. It gets in the way with a lot of things. Even with squatting, even bracing for a squat and stuff, it's kind of getting in the way. So, if any like shoulder specialists in the comments, anybody is here, please help. It's my cry out for help.
Help me.
Literally help. And I don't want the comments to just say, test is best, bro. Just take 10 units GH. You know what to do. Become Spider-Man. Fuck off. Why did you do that, bro?
I made sure it was a quiet point. But it was
So the duck comes up on like the video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro, I got this sick new thing. It's a duck on Discord.
Whoa, check this out.
Yeah,
That
but
was a bit too high. Wait. Check this out. A duck.
Oh man. Yeah, but sorry. This all came from trying to speak about cardio. This is what happens when you try to speak about cardio when you're like a bro. It's just, impossible.
You always skip cardio.
I was saying that I did that like mega leg day, right? And I made the mistake of doing cardio straight after, which was literally like it's so painful. I did like the bicycle, and I just felt pain on the bit that the seat is, like that bit between like your ass and like your quads, I suppose.
Yeah. No, that's kind of like the same with me because I would do like a heavy leg day, and because I sometimes cycle to uni
It's
when I'm like
terrible.
really late.
The
Where I
pain.
live, there's like a big ass hill, so I had to cycle up this massive hill, and my quads were burning.
The hamstrings, the bit between your ass and your hamstrings, right? That's the problem. That's the worst. It's where the bicycle seat sits. I feel bad for professional cyclists. Well, I suppose they're only like supporting themselves with the seat. They're not really
Oh shit,
sitting
what's
on it.
happening? I think should we wrap it up? That's almost been 2 hours.
I was gonna say like we should wrap it up at like 2 hours. Well, it's not gonna be that on the fix. We're gonna cut out like half of it. It's probably gonna be 45 minutes, I reckon.
It's literally gonna be 30 minutes.
Oh, but it was good. It was like this part was good for like. So guys,
I'm surprised we managed to find a topic.
literally, how about if you ever say, I'm not gonna repeat myself. Jay's gonna do the Spider-Man costume to you, but it's like leave if you want to leave like constructive, good questions or like bodybuilding related questions, please do. But if you're just like leaving random questions, we're no longer gonna answer them because we're too big for that now. I reckon we're gonna break 100 views, so we're getting.
Yeah,
huge.
sorry, but we're too
We're-
internet
we-
famous.
we
You
are-
gotta- You're just
Do you-
pointless.
Yeah, let's wrap it up on the thing that when you do cardio, your ass gets sore when you sit on the fucking
Everything fucking hurts.
little bicycle. Your ass gets sore, so maybe have you ever done like massaging after like a workout? I never have, and maybe it's
No,
something to get
but
into.
I did show you.
the
I did show you the
rolling.
gym. They had the 2 massage chairs. I might try that before leaving.
Maybe it's worth it. I've seen people put their legs even like in the spacesuit thing where it pressurizes your legs. You put it into like 2 tubes and it goes. It's almost like the blood pressure monitor. But imagine a really long version of the blood pressure monitor cuff that goes around your legs, like leg cuffs. It's like, you know what fighter pilots wear, how their suits blow up.
Yeah,
So I've seen people do that after like a leg day recovery.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably getting like hyperglycemia right now. That was a good dinner,
Are you about to die?
but I feel really weird.
Oh, I wonder if the video is going to be released, the full, by the time, it's not going to be released by this time, it might be released after this podcast, the full feature length. By the way, if you've stayed to this long, thank you very much, all 2 of you, and hopefully you're
Thank
going to
you.
enjoy the full feature length video that Jay is also in on my channel. Hopefully that's going to blow up, going to be like 10k views at least, I reckon, you know. Alright, any last
Hopefully.
words, JTH?
This food was fucking delicious. Worth the wait.
Tremendous.
That's my final send off.
Right. Thank you guys for listening again to the Unnamed Bodybuilding podcast with your hosts,
Goodbye.
JRX Life and JTH Simpson. Goodbye. You can wave on this one. It's video.